Columbus lost two of our theater icons in 2012, Ionia Zelenka and Joe Hietter. Theater Roundtable is dedicating this evening in their honor. Now, I was fortunate. I got to know and work with both of them over the years, and I'm honored to be here tonight to give them tribute. First, let's talk about C. Joseph Hietter. We all know him as Joe. Joe, what an amazing guy. I love that man. I had the very great pleasure of working with Joe on stage in 1980 in Sleuth at Players Theater. As you know, it's a two-man show. In those days, I was known as an actor, mostly. I got a lot of roles, I was confident on stage, got good reviews. I'm sure I thought more of myself than I deserved. I was on staff at Players when we cast that show, and so I'd seen Joe perform. I knew he was talented, I was pretty excited about it. He's a good actor. I'm a good actor. We have a great director, an excellent script. It'll be a blast. I just hope he can keep up. The arrogance of youth. I had no idea that I was about to go to school with Joe Hietter. I was challenged in the very first read-through. He was always prepared. He was already prepared. He had a great British accent. His reading was honest. He had a good handle on his character. I mean, wow, this guy was good. I thought I'd better step up my game. The rehearsals with Joe, they were just so much fun. He was bright, witty, had an immediate comeback to any ad-lib. He was honest, he was focused, he was intense, and always completely believable. For the first time in my life on stage, I came to the realization that I could be left behind in Joe's dust. So I worked probably harder than I ever had. Now, I was a quick study. Lines came easy to me. I was always the first one off book. So when it came to the deadline to be off book for Act 1, Joe was off book a day early. Well then, when lines were due for Act 2, I was off book 2 days early. It became a friendly competition. I know if you know Sleuth, you know it's full of games. Well, believe me, Joe and I were shameless about playing games with each other throughout the course of that production, and I won't share any of those stories. But Sleuth became one of my favorite experiences in my theater career. I learned a great deal about acting from Joe during that show. Those lessons have stayed with me to this day, and even now, I'll be working with a young actor giving notes about a moment on stage, and I'll think, oh, I learned that from Joe Hietter. Now, Joe was seen many times on this very stage for gallery players, including Petruchio and Taming of the Shrew. He performed extensively at Players Theater back in the glory days of PTC. I remember fondly one of his many memorable performances when he played Norman in Golden Pond. He was really good in that part. Audiences were mesmerized. That was 1981, and incidentally, his 13-year-old son, John, played the part of Billy in that show. Remember that, John? He also performed at Grandparents' Living Theater, at multiple dinner theaters, and at OSU, where he appeared with Eileen Eckhart in the world premiere of Children at Play, directed by our own Roy Bowen. Joe was a founding member of CATCO, along with Jeff Nelson, Michael Harper, and Roy Robichaud. Jeff Nelson recalls, quote, "When I first met him, Joe was a busy executive with the electric company, a husband, and a father of a large family, but he still found time to join the founding of a new theater company. Joe not only starred in Mass Appeal, he schlepped heavy mahogany office furniture down 2 flights of stairs at the electric company, rode with it across downtown Columbus in a blizzard, and then carried up 3 flights of stairs to the YMCA where they performed the show. Joe Hietter was a super nice guy, a hard worker, a team player, and a dedicated family man, and an instinctively great actor. It was an honor to have known and worked with him," unquote. Joe performed extensively in CATCO's Park Street Theater, which we proudly now own. His many credits there include Mass Appeal, Jupiter's Red Eye, Love Letters, Relatively Speaking, and The Gin Game, which he did with Linda Dorff. And he shared his talent with Ionia on CATCO's stage. The two performed together in Handy Dandy, and Joe was directed by Ionia in American Buffalo. Now, I'd be remiss not to mention Joe's charm. Everybody loved that guy, including the ladies. Now even my wife thought he was sexy, and I didn't get it. I mean, here's Joe, he's every man, you know? He's just 6'2", medium build, and that goofy little mustache he wore most of his life. And, but he had charisma, and Tracy Graham, now Tracy Graham Fox. I recall working with him in Present Laughter at Players Theater. Quote, "Joe, oh Joe, it was a joy. He was sweet and sassy and flirtatious and dashing, and yes, I had a crush on him. He was so comfortable and confident on stage and off, he was always so fun to be around. Off quote. Ken Ernie, another Catco regular in those days, said, quote, I was lucky enough to have worked with Joe in Juba's Red Eye and Orphans. I'd been a huge fan of his for years, and I was totally awed by him. He was an immensely gifted and generous actor. I really did love and look forward to every scene I ever rehearsed or performed with Joe, and despite the fact you'd be busting your ass in that rarefied atmosphere just to try and keep up with this terrific actor, he made it fun. Unquote. That was true. Joe was fun to be around on and off stage. On stage, he was gifted, instinctive, generous, believable. He earned the respect of directors, actors, and critics. Off stage, he was a devoted husband and father. Janet Hietter emailed me some of Joe's resumes a few days ago. At the bottom of one, I found this interesting, after only a very impressive list of roles and characters. He said, quote, Mrs. Hietter, Julia, is Joe's coach and critic, as well as the mother of their 6 children and managing director of the family business. This is a man who had a long career in upper-level management for Columbus Southern Electric, who raised 6 children with his lovely wife, Julie, and still found time to give of his talents extensively to theater, both on and off stage. I'd like to end with Jeff Nelson's quote from Grossberg's eloquent article on Joe's passing last year. Quote, Joe Hietter was one of the most respected actors and human beings in Central Ohio theater, and an inspiration to many of us younger actors. Unquote. I know he was an inspiration to this youngster, and I'm grateful. Thank you, Joe. We'll miss you.